Another update from my $5,000 challenge that is coming close. I have about a month, maybe two, before I have to achieve it. And well, there's not that much movement for now. There's been a little bit of a dull, lull rather, the last maybe few days. I've for now paused reach out to other people, but I'll probably continue them soon. And well, especially yesterday, things kind of just didn't move at all. I didn't really do much. It was kind of a shitty day. I didn't go to the cafe, which is probably the biggest mistake of that day. But I wanted to make this video because I didn't want to wait for the next one where I did have some success. Today was a decent day though. I made a CRM, which I really thought about, like, well, what should I do? Like the day yesterday and maybe mostly yesterday felt really directionless. Like I lost all the direction. Like I had the energy, but I don't know where to go and what to do. Kind of like suddenly, like my tasks run out. That's kind of one issue with task lists. If you don't have a way, or some kind of place where you can review your goals and review everything that's going on, you can't really tell. Like you can't source more of your tasks to do. Like if it's all in your head, you may run out and you may lose direction. So you have to have something like that outside of it to just check and know what to do. Maybe it's just me and I'm dumb, I don't know. But I thought I realized that's an important part. Right now, although I would like to have like a full I don't know, chessboard. Here's a business idea, by the way, which I'll mention in a bit. Like a full, I don't know, planned board or whatever, something like that. But the simplest way for me was just to have a CRM. I had a very simple CRM before, but it was not. It did not have some information that I should have tracked there. So I moved it to Notion. It's still very simple, but at least it gave me an idea, and I did some stuff today to like really reach out to people. Get them going again, seeing if I can close them and so on. So there's some movement there now, finally. Like there's some actual movement forward. I should probably definitely reach out to people again and get that going as well. But like really sometimes like you really feel, especially when things are not moving anywhere, or you don't even see any movement. It's actually funny. You don't feel if when you're in a car or when you're in any vehicle, you don't feel this velocity or the speed that you have now. You feel the acceleration or the slow or deceleration. So I may be moving at like a decent speed, but I just don't feel it anymore because like we're not accelerating, or there's no landmarks to see that you're passing something. Like you could be in a desert moving at like 300 kilometers per hour. You're not even gonna notice it because there's nothing around you. So that's kind of how it feels like as well. It's just a reminder for myself and for other people. Like maybe you're in a situation where you're actually doing things, but like you're just not gonna see the results yet, and it's gonna take time. So you might have to just have patience and get back on a horse and continue the journey. So here's the business idea. I was thinking about this, and I would name it a chessboard, business chessboard, something like that. Essentially, it would be an app like Miro or like a whiteboard, where you can integrate many different apps. You can integrate, for example, Google Sheets, Notion. You can integrate CRMs, all those kind of things. And you can maybe even have within the app some calculations, some formulas that use the integrations. Essentially, the purpose of this is to have an overview for a businessman or an entrepreneur, where he can have all his notes, all his projects. He can have an overview of the entire process of his business, where he can be like, okay, this is the optimal decision. I can see that this sales department, like the close rates are not as high as we used to have. What is going on there? Like maybe that we should do that. So it's an overview where you can see and identify your chess moves essentially. And I think that's a pretty good business idea, because if somebody's watching this, I don't know, maybe by chance you're like a developer or a person with money, and you're like watching this, you're my like first viewer who's even watching this. Here's like it's like a gift maybe for you. You know, I don't know if it's successful, but I think it's pretty good. You know, you could target business people with that, and it could be, you know, pretty good pricing, like maybe. With all the integrations plus everything, like easily like 30 a month, like maybe 50 a month, maybe even 100 a month. Plus add AI like ChatGPT in some way. Or imagine you could actually add a ChatGPT to like analyze everything and tell you, hey, maybe here's like 10 things that you could do. That would be actually pretty fucking cool. That is $100 idea, right? A month idea, recurring revenue. No, that's you. I'm gonna, if you guys are not gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. I'm betting on the fact that nobody's gonna watch this video to get this idea. But I might do this in the future because it's really cool. I think maybe just for myself. So anyway, that's that. It's a short update. But if you're feeling like you're directionless, you suddenly lost your tasks, like you just cannot think of proper tasks to do, then try to think from overview. Try to create tasks. Try to like come back where, like if you have any place where you're writing your thoughts or your plan, try to come back to that, reread it, rethink about it. Like try to regain, like do something, whatever decision you need to do to identify the next tasks, next steps. And for me, that was doing the CRM. To be honest, I could have done it before. I just didn't feel like it, and that's the problem, right? So if you don't like, that's where if you come to the conclusion, which with awareness, that you just don't feel like it, or just like you're just lazy or avoiding or something like that, that's where you really have to make that like decision that, okay, like I just have to do it. And that's pretty hard, to be honest. It's not easy. And I think this is something we didn't really talk, people don't really talk about this that much. Alex Hormozi talks a lot about how you just have to do the work. And that in itself is a motivation. Like you get motivated to be like, yeah, okay, I just have to do the work. But it takes time to really build that. I don't want to say discipline, because it's not just discipline. I don't know. It's just that standard for yourself to be able to just really do those things. It takes time. Like it's not easy. So do everything that you can. Like if I think really before, like yesterday I got distracted so much. I kept getting distracted. I was not really procrastinating. At some point I was, but I was getting distracted a lot. And you know, I try to do what I can. So like when I really think about it, like, could I have done better? Of course. Did I do everything that I could have done? I think so, like more or less. You know, I didn't waste the day fully. I've done what I could. So, you know, and you know, I'm still like really seeing that going to a cafe, changing my environment is the best. Like, if I could just do that, that is the best single ROI on my entire day. Like the difference is time and day. Like I'm actually getting even better working at home, but even then it's still a lot better just to go to the cafe. Like you should watch my video about discipline. I don't remember which. Actually, the video is called "Build Mental Power to Do Anything," and essentially, you know, you have a certain amount of discipline or energy to build discipline each day, and you just have to focus on whatever is uncomfortable for you, you know, relatively to you. Something that's slightly uncomfortable. For example, if you don't go for a run, you know, try to go for a run. If that's too hard for you, try to wake up like 30 minutes early, whatever it is. But that's where you use discipline. And just practicing that muscle is like how you basically get better. And I've been using that. Like you get a certain amount of like energy or points to say that you can spend a day, and I've been spending all of it like for the last week just on work. Like my discipline, like muscle habit, was basically just I was writing a lot of tasks for myself, more than normal, and I said like try to do all of them. Like your discipline for today is just do as many of these tasks as you can. Like try to finish all of them. So, you know, as a result, what happened is that my capacity to work actually increased by quite a lot, which is great. And I don't know, I'm thinking like I want to invest it in something else, but it's also sleep that I need to invest it in. Like that's the other best ROI I can do, but the work is still like the best one by far almost. So give yourself a little break, but be fair to yourself. That's essentially what I'm saying. When you get those days, like dig to the point where you're actually hitting distractions or procrastinations, ideally procrastination, because that's where, you know, you've done something to, like what I could have done back then, is just going to the cafe. Like this is also something that you have to realize is dealing with procrastination has a lot to do with pattern recognition of your own behaviors. Like when you realize, okay, I woke up, you know, maybe I slept in, and you know, I'm at home, and I know that, like, if you already know that, okay, I'm not going to be productive as much, and I'm not, like, the environment is not going to be helping me. Okay, how do I actually make the best out of this day? By going to the cafe. I actually was thinking about this, but I was delaying it. But as a result, like, the best action I could have done is actually just going. Like, if I just went there, and even if I was there for like half the time that I normally am at the cafe, I'd have already gotten a lot more results. So like, that's literally the entire thing I learned from that, is just like the pattern recognition of that specific scenario. And that is literally, like, so far from my experience, you don't really ever fully deal with procrastination. It doesn't go away. You're just better at dealing with it. It's like you just understand your own mind better, and that's where meditation and awareness are like really come in clutch. So you know, for example, like, usually one of the ways I procrastinate is, or usually, is when I have a task and then I'm staring at the task, and I'm like, and I feel that, okay, I'm starting to feel that avoidance. I want to avoid the task. I don't want to do it. I'm like, okay, why am I avoiding it? Why do I want to do it? It's because it's too complicated. I'm not sure what to do. I'm uncertain. Okay, so it's over complication. That's basically what happens. Overwhelmed, like, I'm becoming overwhelmed. So I just need to simplify it. Okay, what's the simplest thing I need to do? Like, the first task, just simplify the tasks. Okay, it's click this. Like, it could literally be the simpler as that, as long as you just get into doing it. Like, as long as you're doing it, you're doing it. Like, that's it. That's how you get away from that procrastination, and eventually you have, like, that, like, you understand what you need to do for the task, and then that overwhelm, like, for me at least, that's my experience of being overwhelmed, just goes away, right? That's the most common one for me, and that's just pattern recognition. Like, the I don't ever, like, it doesn't go away. And especially when I, you know, start doing new things that I've not done before, that are relatively hard to me, relatively to me rather. And this is important because there isn't such thing as, like, hard. Like, there's no absolute hardness. I mean, there is kind of, but what's more important is what's hard relative to you, because that's the metric that you need to really think about. So when something is really hard, that's when procrastination comes back, and that's when I need to, like, do this again. Like, okay, we know this is about to happen. This is what we need to do. Like, and the more you do this, the more you get through this, the better and the faster you, like, get through this, and, like, the more productive you become, basically, because it takes you less time to become productive, right? So if this new task, let's say you need to do, like, 10 sales calls, and you really don't want to do it, and at first, if you're really bad at it, it might take you, like, I don't know, 4 days, 5 days, maybe a week to, like, really get to it, maybe longer even. But if you're getting better at the, like, that pattern recognition, that awareness, and that's where I really need to resume meditation. That'll probably help me a lot. I've broken a habit a bit. That's when, like, it takes you, like, less than a day, or maybe even, like, hour, maybe even, like, minutes to, like, be, oh, I'm procrastinating. Okay, let's do this, and then you're already doing the task. So take these failures over days. You know, I'm not just speaking to you guys. I'm also speaking to myself. But take these failures, or, you know, not failures, but necessarily days that are not as productive as you like them to be, as learning experiences. Think about what you could have actually done better, and it's actually pretty simple most of the time. Anyway, guys, so that's been half of an update, half of some value, and a business idea. Who knows, maybe I'll actually see it in the future, and have a good one. Hopefully in the next video I actually get some sale, and there'll be some good news, because I really need to fucking get that $5,000. Alright, see you guys.